me do things. All right, we're live. Mom doesn't make me do anything.
Welcome to Over the Ledge Live, the podcast, the number one and some say only political satire show based solely on the Texas legislature. I'm Amy Lowry, and I'm glad you're here. Over the Ledge gives you a behind the scenes look at all the shenanigans of the Texas legislature by decoding political headlines and legislators' behavior into easy to understand single ant jokes. We're just as funny, but not as famous yet. Have you voted for us in the Austin Chronicles Best of 2022 contest yet? Voting ends at midnight on April 18th. You can vote for us at bit.ly/voteotl. If you have already voted, will you ask 5 friends of yours to vote too, please? Like right now, Stephanie really needs a win. Let's meet our guests tonight. First up, we have our beloved Aaron Salinas. Aaron is an award-winning writer, director, and actor with a love for brisket, breakfast tacos, and learning to live with lactose intolerance. A native Texan, you can find Aaron listening to Selena or in the aisles of an HEB when we're not in stage 5 or experiencing a winter storm. He is vaxxed and boosted and thinks you should be too. Please welcome Aaron Salinas.
Hey everybody, I was just showing off my lactate because I'm going to dinner with some friends tonight, and I keep that thing on me. So
right.
Yeah, learning to live with that lactose. And also I tie-dyed my shirt, not to brag, but look at this little homemaking queen. Look at me.
Right.
Look at me.
Incredible to highlight.
Incredible.
Is that a bleach tie-dye?
It's a bleach tie-dye, and I only coughed twice because the fumes were strong.
You did it in your bathroom.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, I should be outside for this.
Too late.
Next, we have a wonderful comedic guest for you tonight, Jeremy Sweetlam. Jeremy is a lifelong student, director, actor, teacher, promoter, producer, and defender of improvised theater. For 25 years, he lived and trained in Chicago, LA, and New York before returning to his native Austin, Texas. He has recorded a comedy album, Bearded Lamb Sings Along to Urban Cowboy Motion Picture Soundtrack. He has performed with Bill Hader and Bob Odenkirk at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal. Wow. He started one of the biggest comedy festivals in the country, Out of Bounds. He's a founding member of legendary improv troupe, Available Cup Holders. He continues to embrace failure gracefully by teaching middle school theater and trying to be a good partner and dad to 2 little bitties. Please welcome Jeremy Sweetlam.
Well, what's up, everybody? I'm so glad the weather was nice today in Central Texas. It's nice, finally.
Look at that wonderful radio voice you have, Jeremy.
Well, thank you. It's allergies, actually, that makes it, gives it that timbre. Yeah.
Our very special celebrity guest for tonight is Representative Erin Zwiener. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Natural Resource Conservation, a Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing, and is a 3-time Jeopardy champion. Representative Zwiener serves on the House Committees on Public Health, House Administration, and Appropriations, where she is the Vice Chair of the Subcommittee on Article 3, Education. She is a member of the House Democratic Caucus, LGBTQ Caucus, Criminal Justice Reform Caucus, Women's Health Caucus, and IT Caucus. In January of 2021, Representative Zwiener established the Caucus on Climate, Environment, and the Energy Industry and currently serves as its chair. She lives in Driftwood with her husband Quincy, daughter Lark, a dog, 3 horses, a mule, a pony, a pig, and too many chickens. Please welcome Representative Zwiener.
I also need to shorten my bio.
I felt that way.
Great.
Yeah, I felt that.
What could you possibly take out?
Right, it's all important.
Well, I know this is a comedy show, so maybe I shouldn't mention this, but I actually need to take the mule out because he died.
Oh no.
No, I think
hilarious.
That's hilarious, actually. I think
that's
it's really funny. Yeah.
The animal list is inaccurate now.
Unless you get another one.
Yeah, just make it accurate at this point.
Finally, we have the creator and the ruler of the Over the Ledge Empire, who needs no introduction. Stephanie, has anyone seen Tony Regbo lately asking for a friend? Chiarello.
Oh, where is he? And it's Toby, not Tony Regbo.
Oops.
It's hard to have a crush on a celebrity who has no social media presence and whose body of work you really don't enjoy watching.
That's how I feel about Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
huge crush, no social media, and his movies I can't stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I'm
is
sorry.
love?
You can't stand good, the bad, and the ugly?
I just prefer that it was just the good, and the good. I mean, what's the problem?
I will say, a big fan of $1 Million Baby. I kind of prefer it over Good, Bad, and the Ugly. But as you get to know me, you're like, that makes a lot more sense. But
I also
I'm
liked
gonna
In the Line of Fire, but
yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
What about A Perfect World, a Texas movie that was actually really good?
I don't think I saw that.
I don't think I
It
have
was
seen that one,
Kevin
actually.
Costner was the main guy, but Eastwood directed it and he's in it.
Well,
Okay.
of course.
Check it out.
At imdb.com.
Sponsor us.
Just a
Yeah.
reminder to save the date. We'll be back live in person September 16th through 18th, 2022 at the Long Center. And because of our
Nice.
generous sponsors, we can actually pay for the theater. So thanks again to the Magnificent 22. Now it's time for What's Up in Texas with our host, Stephanie Chiarillo.
Yay, our favorite part of the show. And let's take a moment to recognize that it's Passover for those of you who celebrate. And of course, you got the pun and pass over the ledge. And Good Friday. Why is it called good? We'll find out in these monologue jokes.
Is this going to be? Oh, I thought it was going to be Easter-based questions. I was like, no,
No.
I told you I'm a
No.
recovering Catholic. Come on, Jesus.
No, but one of my games I think is pretty good and hits that
Yikes.
nail, as you might say.
Careful. Yeah.
I'm
careful.
so sorry. All right, let's start with State Senator Beverly Powell, Democrat from Burleson, ended her reelection campaign Wednesday morning, citing, quote, an unwinnable race in a district that Republican lawmakers had redrawn to make a Democratic win impossible. The Republicans added counties to the south and west of Tarrant County that made it more rural and more white, or as Dan Patrick calls the strategy, Operation Dairy Queen Blizzard. Right-wing House candidate Jeff Younger calls himself the quote-unquote tip of the spear in the fight against gender-affirming treatment for youth. Unfortunate terminology from a man who probably hasn't speared anything since his wife divorced him.
Yikes.
Heyo.
Ayo, speaking of spears, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick wants a Texas version of the Florida Don't Say Gay law. This coming from the guy that got a vasectomy live on air during his former career as a radio shock jock. I guess he realized the only way he could top proving he has balls is to prove he's a dick.
Goes right above it. Topped
Topped it. Thank
Yep.
you. What were you going to say, Amy? Yes, he
I
really
was wondering
did
if that was true. Okay.
It is true. I can't find the tape, but it's out there. Everybody.
Oh,
knows.
this might be a weekend project for Aaron. I'm curious at this point. If I'm being
Oh,
honest.
it's out there. It's out there. Texas log cabin Republicans will settle for a slightly bigger tent. That's the whole joke. Just the
That's
headline.
the whole joke.
Yeah, you gotta know who they are and be a little dirty, but that's the headline.
Is that
The
a
first-
pitching tent joke? I don't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I don't know.
Clarification is key on this one.
Yeah, right?
I feel like as a queer Democrat, I'm just being baited by this monologue.
They just said, say something. Say something. Jump in.
No. We'll move on. We'll move on. Only the masturbates. Never forget that. The first bus of migrants arrived in Washington, D.C. from Texas under Governor Greg Abbott's controversial new idea to punish Biden for loosening border policies. But if we really wanted to punish him, he'd fill the bus with Texas senators.
Zinger.
Boom. Abbott is really boffing it on the border with his latest move to have state troopers redundantly inspect commercial trucks. Even Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller said it's a bad idea that could cause food shortages. And when real life Yosemite Sam thinks you're dumb, you should probably go drop an anvil on yourself right now. All right, side note, we're going to have plenty of spoiled produce to throw at our legislators just as soon as those trucks make it through town. And I thought we needed a few Good Friday and Passover jokes. So on Good Friday, today, Jesus was spotted preaching on the drag near UT with the message, good, You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. And also, you do the living, I'll do the judging, Greg. Okay. How do you drive your mother? This one I didn't make up. How do you drive your mother completely insane on PassOver? Look, it's really just a piece of cake.
Nice.
Okay, because no leaven bread.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gotta have the
Okay.
yeast in the cake.
The yeast. Okay. Why do we have a Haggadah at PassOver? So we can say the right words. 'Cause it's a Passover Seder? No?
Seder right.
Still no?
Seder right.
Say the right word.
Okay.
Okay. And finally, while I was researching our games today, did you know that Jesus' last name was not Christ? I mean, I did, but I think some people don't. And in fact, apparently he didn't have a last name.
What's the H for?
Holy.
Holy? Jesus? I don't know. I've never known what the H is.
Hi. All right. And that's what's up in Texas legislature.
That's a good one.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a monologue? Because that's we talked a lot. Sorry.
It's a bantery kind of show. I think
We gab. We have fun here.
Yeah,
We're a
no
family.
rules.
We're not like a lot of podcasts. We like to have fun.
Did I
So-
mention that we're up for Best of Austin in the Austin Chronicle? You can vote
Yeah.
through the 18th. Yeah, just one more vote, guys. We just need one more than the other guys.
Who are the other guys? Or should we not even promote them?
No,
we
don't
never
even
say
know.
their
Who?
name. You never
don't
say
even-
their name.
No
Never.
one
No,
Vote
Right.
for Over the Ledge.
Okay.
I heard that they
you.
like
Thank you,
punch children
Representative.
and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, audience, let me tell you how this podcast works on tonight's episode. Sorry,
We're killing it today.
Aaron and Jeremy are competing against each other for the coveted Most Knowledgeable Comedian in Austin award. Comedians, please be aware that you can each phone a friend 3 times if you're stuck on a question. And by friend, we mean Representative Zwiener. This award is given to the comedian who knows the most about Texas politics, according to the outcome of the games on our show. Stephanie, show the award.
Oh shit. Sorry.
But she's like, I have to grab
I
a
was
random book.
Oh.
Usually she's ready by now.
Oh,
but
it's not
Oh,
random.
wow. Incredible.
Right? Coveted.
Oh.
Oh, you can't see it, but here it's
So
back.
coveted.
Oh,
There it is,
that was
upside
the
down.
wrong direction. I'm tilting it for the log cabin
Yes.
Republicans.
Yes. Put it in their tent.
That's
Oh my gosh. Whoever wins gets their picture taken with our special guest, Representative Zwiener, and she will post a picture on her social media announcing that the winning comedian is most knowledgeable comedian in Austin. Stephanie, did we ask the representative if she is okay with this?
no.
Did you ask the comedians if they were okay with this?
Wow.
No, I'm joking.
No.
Just joking.
No.
Oh, I hope you don't phone me, Jeremy.
I'm definitely going to have to. All 3 times, too.
Our special guest, Representative Zwiener, is a 3-time Jeopardy champion. I'm sorry, I meant to say, who is Representative Zwiener? Let's see how well our comedians can do in a Jeopardy-style game about passing laws in Texas, because it's Passover. Good Friday.
These are going to be laid on thick, huh? These are-
All right.
You can tell. Like
forward.
melted peeps.
Okay, so man, are we doing lots of new things right now? So I'm going to share my screen.
oh,
Can you
look
see
at
the-
us.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
So I made this nice Jeopardy board here, and it is technically like Jeopardy, except I thought it might be hard for you gentlemen who are not experts. So here are the rules is see, you can get 1 point here under. So here are your topics. Introduction.
Mhm.
This is bills in the house, how to pass over a bill in the Texas House only. And the topics are introducing the bill, in committee, on the floor, with the governor, or just random things. And you can try to go for 1, 2, or 3 points. Now, if you answer it by yourself or with the representative's help, you get the full points. If you ask me to give you multiple choice questions, you get half the
Okay.
number of
Mm.
points. Okay.
Okay, so we're getting into some decimals here.
Decimals, yes.
Okay.
And if you ask me for multiple choice, then you can't ask the representative.
Oh, there's a lot of
Okay.
rules in this
There's
game.
a lot of rules.
Hey, real
Okay,
quick,
so
also
double?
Stephanie, the state rep can't be seen with the lower third. Just a heads up.
the state rep can't be seen. Okay.
Her
let's
camera's covered.
remove.
Put me on the bottom.
No, we can't see Stephanie.
Okay, I did that on purpose. We're gonna remove Amy right now. Okay. Oh, but nope.
Yeah.
No, not letting me.
What if you
So-
add her back in now? Will she be last?
Oh, maybe. Oh, there
Oh,
we go.
yes.
There we go.
Ooh, okay.
She turned into a logo.
Technology's amazing.
Wow, I'm really excited to not know very much of this, but still be excited about it. And also,
Yeah.
am I team 1 or team 2?
Yeah, we'll go with the flow.
Okay,
A lot
we'll
of
figure
these
it out.
games, we do end up going, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." That's usually how these
Okay, good.
usually go for the comedians.
All right.
So there's always a quiz game, but it's not always Jeopardy.
Correct. There's some sort of trivia or quiz, or I'm supposed to be the common man for representative, if you will, in the fact that I don't know shit about state politics, but I know Sid Miller because his name's on the gas pumps. So yeah,
I don't even know that.
I love Sid Miller jokes.
they're real easy. Oh,
Their own
Stephanie's still
genre.
here, but we don't hear her.
Can you not hear me because you
she's-
can't
there
see
she
me?
is.
Okay,
There you
I
are.
can't
There we
win,
go.
guys.
This is great. We're
Yeah.
ready. Oh, what happened? Now you stopped
I don't
sharing.
know. I made it go away. Oh dear, baby Jesus.
Oh,
Help
Good
me.
Friday.
Yeah,
I don't know
how
what's happening. Oh,
Well, like-
Good
that's
Friday.
interesting.
Jesus is full grown.
Yeah, I was gonna say this isn't where he's a baby.
Oh,
He's grown in these
In
5
3
months.
he's grown. Do you know that he only practiced for 3.5 years? Can you imagine having this kind of legacy after 3.5 years?
Wait, practiced what?
like
practice
he
not
was
dying.
actively preaching and
That's why-
accepted as this messenger for only 3.5 years before his early retirement.
That's all I needed.
Early
Jeremy,
retirement.
please get us on the board.
Yeah,
What?
committee for 2, Mayim.
Okay, committee for 2. Your answer is Greg Bonin.
So I'm going to say what committee he's in. He's in the House Ways and Means Committee.
You know what? I'm going to give it to you
What?
because he's chair of appropriations, which is pretty close to Ways and Means.
Holy
It's not
Amazing.
right.
Yes.
You said it with a lot of confidence, so good job. Good
I mean,
job.
I guess they're both money, going different
Yeah.
directions, but
Yeah.
I don't even know what Ways and Means means.
Aaron, does that work on Real Jeopardy? Just confidence and attitude?
it works to get on the show. It doesn't work to win the money.
Okay.
Well, you
Cool.
didn't give him a point.
He gets 2 points for that. Oh, was I supposed
Oh.
to?
Well, yeah, you see where it says
Got it.
team 1 and 2.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. Aaron, what would you like to select?
Let's go random for 2.
Okay. The answer is 31 and 150.
What are numbers?
Oh, you can't bust him for that.
I can't, but I can ask him to be more specific.
Oh. What are not single digit numbers?
Here we are in our different.
I thought you said common man.
What are the what the fuck, Stephanie?
You've been
I
on
can't-
this
that's why I
podcast a
can
long
give-
time.
You can
I have a
ask
guess.
the representative who I think probably
Oh,
knows
yeah.
this answer, or I can give you multiple choice.
Okay, I'm going to just say I'm gonna get help for sure on this one because this is just bad shit. This is just 2 numbers Stephanie won.
I know it was hard.
I'm gonna assume what is. I might be throwing spaghetti at the wall, but it might stick. What is the ratio to Democrat to Republicans in the House?
We're not that bad.
Okay, yeah. See, I wasn't too sure, but Aaron, first of all, fan of the name. Secondly, what are these numbers?
So I'm officially phoned.
Yeah, you are phoned.
like the two most important numbers in the Texas legislature, because to have to pass a bill, you have to count to half of both of these and get that many votes. Number of senators, number of members in the House.
Perfect. That's it.
What
Very
the
good.
Stephanie, how was this fair?
Well, it's not, and that's why I came up with the multiple choice answers, because I really wanted a Jeopardy game, but I knew that it was really hot. Yeah, it's
So
not,
Okay.
Aaron.
I don't know,
Welcome.
Aaron. We've covered this on the podcast. I feel like somehow it came up that there were 31.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, hold on. You're acting like I'm supposed to remember these things.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot going on. I'm getting a puppy. I mean, cut me
That's
some
true. I
slack.
forgot about the puppy. I'm so sorry.
See,
The
I'm
lactose.
an anticipating father.
He's got puppy brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be, yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, what would you like next?
I'm going to stick with a 2. Floor for 2, please.
Okay, and just for context, again, this is about how you pass a bill on the floor.
Okay.
And your answer is the bill is first subject to debate and amendment by the entire membership of the chamber. What is this?
The bill is first subject. Oh, this is what is introduction? Introductory? I don't know.
Do you want some multiple choice questions?
Oh,
Or phone a friend?
how many? Do I get 3 phone a friends? You said that earlier.
3 phone a friends total between 2 games.
There's another game after this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll take the multiple choice.
Okay, this is either what is the first reading of a bill, or what is the second reading of a bill, or what is the third reading of a bill.
Bill is first subject to debate. And I'm going to go with A. What is A, the first reading?
Okay, I'm sorry, you're incorrect. It's actually the second reading. Representative, would you like to explain to Jeremy this process?
We have a rule in the Texas Constitution that a bill has to be read on the House floor on 3 separate legislative days. The first time the bill is referred to committee by the speaker. The second time we debate it and amend it. The third time we debate it, theoretically amend it, but it's harder that we have to pass it or have it not pass with a record vote.
Okay.
I don't know how to make this not be available.
I think you have to
anymore.
reveal the correct answer.
I thought I did. Okay. Okay, you're right. Thank you, Aaron. Very good. Aaron,
1
what's
point
next
for
on the
me.
board?
Let's do.
Come on,
well,
go for it.
Given the first question I got, I can only imagine what the 3s are going to be like. Jesus. Let's just go for it. Intro for 3.
All right, you got it,
Oh.
Aaron. The first reading. She just gave you the example. She just answered this for you, Aaron.
You were playing on the screen. I was distracted.
Always the woman's fault.
What's this?
Let's see. No. Okay. Can I just give a monologue about the sins of the patriarchy and I get a point or
Yes.
something?
Yes, you may. 100%. Is this the first reading? What is when each member reads their bill on the floor completely the day they file it? Or is the first reading what is when a bill is read on the floor and referred to committee? Or what is a summary of the bill prepared by legislative counsel?
I'm gonna assume it's B because of the tone of voice. And also allergies can be blamed on dads in the 80s making too many male trees in the suburbs. So
All
there's
those-
some sins of the patriarchy.
all
Mhm,
those
good point.
things. Okay, you get 1.5 for that.
I'll take it.
So these down below, they're not accurate. Okay, Jeremy.
Yeah, well, I have to catch up. But I also don't really know any of this, so random for 3.
You got it. Random from 3. James Pickney Henderson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually know this because I'm related to him. He was the
Oh.
first Speaker of the House of Texas.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
so close, Jeremy.
No,
He
I'm
was
not
the
actually.
first-
I don't know who
Oh.
that is.
I totally bought that.
Stolen
He
base leader. I don't know who. I don't know.
The first. You were so close, and I
First-
helped Aaron on the last one.
First Speaker. He was the first Lieutenant Governor.
For fuck's sake, the third one.
He was the third Lieutenant Governor.
No, the first governor. You did
Oh.
speaker. Okay.
Those are the three
Oh.
important people. Okay, yeah. He was the first governor of Texas.
Okay. I'm gonna give you half of these points. I've never heard this name before. Representative, did you know who this was?
I didn't, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna blame it on Texas being way more obsessed with the presidents of Texas than the governors.
Okay.
And the rivers, because I remember the rivers. Don't remember the governors
yeah.
and shit though.
Got to know the first river.
Sing
Yeah.
us
I mean, the
song,
rivers are how
Aaron.
we navigate downtown Austin, though. So
Mhm, yeah, that
That's
helps
true.
us.
Okay.
And they're on that awesome map in the airport. By
Yeah.
the baggage
Yeah,
claim.
they are. I never knew. Well, I'm not going to say this. All right, please, Aaron. Next.
Well, now I'm just curious with that.
Oh, that I didn't realize they were in order in Austin for a very long time, and then one day I was like, "Wow, Red
Oh.
River, Rio Grande."
Yeah.
Oh,
West
holy
to east.
shit! I did not know that.
Yeah, they go in order.
But you are right. Oh my god!
You're welcome.
I feel like I watched a Netflix documentary. Governor for two. Let's see if we can get
Governor
this
for
governor thing
two.
going. Jesus.
One of your favorite things: 21 bills. He
It's
did
what
something to 21 bills.
what my grandmother gave me as a birthday gift on my 21st.
All right, 100%. Or
Or Grammy-winning artist.
yeah.
I'm just gonna note mathematically, you still have 3 phone a friends left.
I have 2. I've already used one, didn't
So
I?
he did use one. Yeah.
Wait, is it
Yeah.
phone a friend or multiple choice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm can almost guarantee I'm probably gonna need you on the second game. So I need to space these out.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Can I get some multiple choice stuffs?
Of course you can. This would be the total number of bills that made it to the governor's desk last session, or the total number of bills passed without the governor's signature, or the total number of bills the governor vetoed.
I feel like he didn't. I feel like anytime he gets something on his desk, it's a travesty, and there's like a big headline about it,
And then he passes it.
and then he passes it, and because and then he just grumbles, and he's just like, the marijuana and the gays and the Mexicans, and he's just shouting all of that. So I feel like that would have made a headline. I feel like he vetoed a lot too, though. I feel like we were like, yeah, let's help the general public, and he was like, get that off my desk. I'm gonna say passed without him.
I'm so sorry. This is how many he vetoed.
Ah, damn it!
Wow,
Really?
I'm
That feels like a
surprised.
low ball.
It does. It does. But you can read. We'll put a link in our show notes to why he vetoed so many of them.
One of them was mine.
Oh.
Oh, what was
Which
that
one?
one?
Well, I was the house sponsor. Zaffarini was the main author. It mentioned solar panels, so
Oh,
Of
gross.
course.
It just mentioned them. You can't even mention them.
Yeah, and in his eyes, that's basically saying meth lab, and he's like, get that out of here. It's a danger to society.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, do you want 2 more on this game? Yes, Jeremy, your
Yes.
final opportunity here.
My final opportunity to take the lead. Intro for 2,
You got
Please.
it.
Alex.
The chief's clerk's office. And remember, this has to do with introducing a bill. What could the chief's clerk's
Yeah.
office have to do with it?
That's where you have to, and I know this because I'm related to him. You have to that's where you officially submit a bill. It has to go to that office.
Correct. Very
Ah!
good.
Oh.
Yes.
See, throwing spaghetti at the wall works sometimes.
is that our first correct answer without help?
Oh wow.
Oh,
I got the cheapie at the beginning for Ways and Means.
yeah, but you
That's
weren't
right.
you weren't 100% right.
No, I wasn't.
This
Yeah.
one you were, and with a lot of gusto. Excellent. Okay.
I'm really
Aaron.
thinking this confidence thing has something to do with Jeopardy, if I'm being honest. Let's go for it. Let's do governor for 3.
All right. I believe in you, Aaron.
That makes one of us.
Okay. Article 10, including the Senate, the House, the Legislative Budget Board, Legislative Council, Commission on Uniform State Laws, Sunset Advisory Commission, State Auditor, and Legislative Reference Library.
What are stuff in the Capitol?
Yes. A little more. What would the governor have done to this? And this was a headline, and I was personally very upset about it. Which doesn't really narrow it down because I'm.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's done a lot of terrible shit. Like
Stephanie was mad about most of it.
Yes. I don't want to give you any more clues because I always give you clues there.
Yeah, but I'm cute, so it's okay. I'm
Maybe
state auditor. I don't. What are wastes of money? What are throwing things away? What are
ask your phone a friend, Aaron.
Oh no, Aaron! I just want to say you look offended at some of these things. I'm literally just saying things.
I mean, I think I'm offended. I'm pretty sure Stephanie's offended, but she's got a good comedy face.
What did I say? I don't know what I was playing charades at that point. Whatever Stephanie was trying to do. So I'm going to use my second phone a friend, Aaron. Again, big fan of the name. What are these words?
This was the whole thing where Stephanie spent 2 or 3 months not knowing if she was going to keep getting a paycheck. Parts of the budget the governor vetoed the entire legislative branch.
Holy shit!
What?
Yes.
What?
Y'all, yes. He vetoed he cut everybody's money, not the legislators, just literally every employee who were
And not
and
himself.
he held it hostage for the voter suppression bill that just resulted in 25,000 Texans having their ballots by mail rejected.
Yeah, I
Wow.
did see that. That was, you know, that. I mean, honestly, the plan worked. If it and it affected their own people.
They chickened out and fixed it another way.
Oh
which
no, we've
is-
lost Aaron. I brought him back. Okay.
Now he's under logo.
Oh, that's right. You've been banished. Okay, Amy, how did we do?
Well, it depends on how many Aaron got in that last. So
Well, he
phoned a
asked.
fr-
He phoned
so
a
he
friend
got
and he
the
got
3.
it right. Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron is ahead by 1 point.
Oh snap!
Razor thin.
Razor thin margins. Excellent. What's next, Amy?
Oh, right. All right. Our next game celebrates the glorious holiday that is today, Passover, Good Friday, and the month of Ramadan. It's called WWJRDPD and stands for What Would Jesus, a Republican, a Democrat, or a Passover Seder do? Our
You know,
comedians,
common conversational questions. What?
Wait,
Yep.
do satyrs have like will and the ability to act as
They have
I think-
principles and ideas, as you will see from my Haggadah that I
Oh,
have right here
my.
ready for some of our questions.
So you don't mean satyr half man, half goat. That's not the kind of satyr we're talking about?
I'm glad that was cleared up early on.
Okay, yeah, good.
You gotta say the right words, and they're in here. My Haggadah.
our comedians will be given a commandment, principle, thought, etc., from either the Bible, the Republican or Democratic Party platform, or the
Oh,
Santa
boy.
Cruz Passover Haggadah. Let's decide
Wow.
who did it. Jesus, Republican, Democrat, or Elijah from Passover.
Yeah.
Play WWJRDPD.
Yes, this game was really hard because I started it as like, what would Jesus think like about these policies? But it's really hard to figure out what Christians think according to the Bible. So this is what we got. Okay, so we're gonna start with Jeremy. Okay, you're gonna
Okay.
tell us if this is Jesus, Republican, Democrat, or the Haggadah. Okay.
Okay.
Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and let not your heart be glad when he stumbles.
Wow.
This is
No.
hilarious if it's a Republican. I just want to say that. It's
Definitely not. I've already eliminated that. Although there's no limit to hypocrisy. I'm gonna say it's from the Haggadah.
Good try. It's actually Proverbs 24:17. It is from thy Bible.
Oh, I thought they cut that one recently.
Well, the Texas cut it out of the Bible, but New York keeps it in there.
Yeah. Some places choose to celebrate some holidays and some don't. Yeah.
Some don't. Okay, Aaron. If we could realize that when we do harm to our neighbors, friends, employees, parents, children, animals, or environment, we are doing spiritual, psychological, or physical harm to ourselves.
Was that Sid Miller? No, I'm just kidding.
Nah.
I want to say the Haggadah.
You're correct.
Hey.
This is one of the Dayanus from the Haggadah, from the Reformed Haggadah, and of course, like who owns the Haggadah? Who owns Jesus? I don't know. Okay,
We have to go to primary sources. I think
you have to go to primary sources. Okay, Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh, how many of these questions are there going to be? Because I have 3 phone of friends.
There are 8
Although-
total, so you get 4. So you're on your you get 4 questions, and Aaron gets 4.
And Aaron, yeah, the rep is an expert on all 4 of these.
All 4 of these
okay.
things. Okay, how about this? The inalienable right of all people to defend themselves and their property.
Republicans.
Yes, correct.
I mean, you really didn't
Kind
need
of
to let her
kidding.
finish the sentence. You could have just,
Yeah.
I just think they were. I
Yeah.
wanted to
He
word
didn't there,
them.
though.
Okay.
Or he didn't there. He had enough.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just sort of loosely quoting the Bill of Rights, and then about freedom. So
You
I
got
figured.
it. Okay. Let each of you look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others.
One more time.
Let each of you not look only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others.
Feel like those words weren't around during the Bible writing. And I kind of want to say I got it again.
You know, these are the good parts of the Bible, which probably are in the Haggadah, but this was Philippians.
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 Corinthians. It's pronounced Corinthians. It's silent PHILIPIANS.
All right, sorry, that was Jesus.
Oh, it was Jesus.
Ooh.
It was
Not
my
only was it
cousin.
the Bible, it was the guy.
Oh, well, I don't know. It just is from
It's from the New
fallopian
Testament.
tubes.
Paul.
Okay.
It was from my uncle
Oh,
Jesus.
I noticed
All
that
the
they
branded
say
demons are letters from Paul to people.
thank you.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Aaron,
No, it's
The right-
it's Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
The right to a clean and healthy planet.
I have a leaning, but I also have many phone of friends, and the rep hasn't gotten in. So I'm gonna phone my friend here.
Thank you. I was feeling antsy. If that isn't in the Democratic Party platform, I need to go fight with some people about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I agree. Should I agree?
Yes,
You should agree.
Do I have
Yes.
to agree? Okay. Yes, I agree.
Okay, you got it. That's right. That's in the Democratic
Yes.
Party platform. Very good. Okay,
Thanks for the
Aaron.
assist.
One
Cryptic
moment, please.
so far.
One
Thank you for
moment,
letting me
please.
know, Jeremy.
Okay.
I only have one more phone a friend, Aaron. Cut me some slack. I have to play my cards right.
Oh, this is my. Oh, well, I've given it away. If we could give and receive all of the intimacy, affection, support, nurturance, and sex we need on an ongoing basis to and from appropriate sources.
Republicans wouldn't say the word sex.
The log cabin Republicans would.
You gotta. You lean too far back.
I know. I knew I would give it away. You're right. It's the
That was
Haggadah.
not knowledge. That was just observance. That's all that was. That was.
Isn't that a beautiful wish?
It really
Yes.
is.
I mean,
I'm interested. Sign me up.
These Jews are onto something. All
I
right.
thought it was maybe Penthouse Forum or something.
That'll be the next.
Could have sworn that was a Hustler title. I wasn't sure.
Okay, Jeremy.
Yeah. Hi.
The laws of nature and nature's God, and we support the strict adherence to the original language and intent of the Declaration of Independence and the constitutions of the United States and Texas.
That makes my, you know how sometimes, not when you throw up in your mouth all the way, but there's just like a little bit of bile that sort of creeps into your throat and it sort of burns.
Yes.
And that's got to be Republicans.
You are correct.
You
It is
gotta
in
be
fact the first thing they believe in according to their platform.
Wow.
It's the most important thing.
Yeah, I feel like whoever like said those words has like a "Don't tread on me" flag like above their bed, and like
Or tattooed.
yeah, or
Yeah.
All right.
So bad.
This is Aaron. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
Aaron, big fan of the name. You think Jesus said that?
I don't know if Jesus said it, but I think it's in the Bible.
Well, Jesus wrote it. It says by Jesus Christ. That's his pen name because apparently that's not his real last name. Let's
Bible.
say that again.
I think that's Bible. There's some like stories of, I think it's Old Testament, like angels visiting folks, and
Yeah, and biblical angels are terrifying. Don't they look like giant moths that just like congealed together?
Yeah.
Let's go with JC.
You're correct. Good job, Representative and Aaron.
Wow,
It-
not
it's
thrown
in
off.
Hebrew.
The errands.
Okay. I think these are the last two questions. Is that right,
wait,
Amy? Or
which
have
book is it, Stephanie?
It says Hebrews 13:2. Okay, one more question apiece. Are you ready, Jeremy?
Yeah.
The right to affordable health care and best safety practices in the face of contagion.
It's clearly Jesus.
The right to, yeah. Well, something about lepers. I don't know, but can you say that again? I can't form the joke. I'm too busy trying to think of something else.
The right to affordable health care and best safety practices in the face of contagion.
In the face of contagion.
Registered trademark, 1988, University Studios.
Okay. I don't get, from the body language, I don't get the sense that the rep knows it. But now I do with that reaction. So I'm going to phone my friend. I'm going to phone my friend again. What do you think, Aaron? Big fan
I'm
of the name.
sitting here thinking about how I'm a very bad fit for trivia comedy games because I'm just like really impatient to know the answers.
You just want to skip ahead.
Enough with the jokes.
Yeah, right.
But I'm pretty confident that's part of my party's whole platform, you know, the whole reasonable COVID response. So I think that's the Democrats. But I think you're right that Jesus would be on our side.
More than likely.
Yeah, I think so too. Hard to say. Okay, so I'm going Democrats. I'm going to go with my friend.
Very good. You're very good. And you hit the nail on the head there, Representative, when you said Jesus also would agree with the Democratic platform. That's what this whole game was about.
Oh, you tricked us.
And Jesus was a Jew, so God, it's part of all of it.
It's a
Well done.
swirling.
Ring the bells, light the candles. Okay, Aaron, here's your last one. Let me pick a really good one. Hold on.
You guys are neck and neck, so this is for
Oh,
the whole
gosh.
trophy.
Oh no.
Goodness.
Oh gosh.
It's for the whole
Okay.
egg. I'm trying to make an Easter joke.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I want to hide myself for a second so I can.
Yeah,
It's
just
a really hard one.
stop your video. We'll go audio only.
Okay. Okay.
Is that a ballet
at this point,
dancer?
Yes, it is.
Is that a Footloose poster?
Obviously, yes.
Nice.
Okay. If we could only see how short and precious life is and take care of ourselves without having to be reminded through tragedy or ill health.
I feel like a Republican could have said this after somebody was like going on and on about like medical expenses. But oh, that's so cute. Oh my God, that looks like me if I were a little hotel bellboy.
It's concierge Aaron.
Look at me, just living my best life. I'm gonna. I mean, you were looking at the book. I'm gonna say, I don't know.
You have one question. Phone
Do
a
I have a
friend.
phone a friend?
You have one left.
All right, I will use my phone a friend. Aaron, big fan of the name. What are we feeling with this one?
I'm very confident it's not a party platform because it's like too squishy. You know, it's more like we would like nice things to happen for people instead of we want X. I'm language-based wise leaning towards the Haggadah. Like the language feels just a tad more modern.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, some of those words did not exist when JC was around.
But I'm open. Maybe we should hear it one more time, actually.
Yeah, it was kind of pretty.
Which one did I read?
Something about
if we
to enjoy
could
our lives without fear of dying.
Yes. If we could only see how short and precious life is and take care of ourselves without having to be reminded through tragedy or ill health.
Haggadah.
You're right.
Haggadah.
We just
Thank
want to
you,
say
Aaron.
the right words. Okay.
We did it.
Amazing.
I love this Haggadah. It's my favorite Haggadah.
I'm just really grateful I didn't get phoned on the answer I didn't know in the Jeopardy game. Thank you.
Which one? Oh,
Oh, now you're revealing this.
Yeah, which one was it?
The first governor.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Henderson.
nobody knows it.
Okay, Amy, what happened?
Okay, on game 2, you guys were tied, but back to game 1, Aaron had one more point.
Okay.
So,
But I think we should both get a picture if we're being fair.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Smiling. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. We'll certainly get that posted on social media. Okay, congratulations, Aaron and Jeremy.
Thank
Do what we
you.
can.
Just happy to be nominated.
I actually thought that was a really fun, wonderful game, and I'm really proud of whoever wrote it.
You can say you're proud of yourself. That's
I'm
allowed.
proud of myself. Thank you.
Yeah.
You done good. You're doing great things.
We're educating, we're entertaining, and I do have to say that the representative is like the most thoughtful. I want her on my team at any point. She's like, based on your body language, based on the cadence, based like she is on my team if she will have me, if she will come. All right.
now it is time to meet the woman who knew Grenada was not just a site of a 1980 U.S. invasion, also known as the Isle of Spice, Representative Aaron Sweener.
I forgot I had a question about that on Jeopardy.
I do research.
I can tell. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Okay, well, I don't want to just point out that you were on Jeopardy because you're a remarkably accomplished woman, and especially this last session in the Texas legislature. Let's get to the super fun part, leaving Texas for DC. You brought your daughter, Lark. What was that like for you and her?
It was kind of wild. So my daughter is now almost 4, but she had just turned 3 at the time we went to DC. In terms of where I was at with her, I'm most grateful she was already potty trained by the time we went to DC. I'm glad we weren't navigating diapers. But it was kind of chaotic. I mean, I do not recommend living with a 3-year-old in a hotel room.
Okay.
I do recommend taking your 3-year-old to meet Kirsten Gillibrand and Elizabeth Warren because they're both awesome about it. I do not recommend quarantining with a 3-year-old in a DC hotel room for a week after they get exposed to COVID while the group of people you are with is the tip of the spear for the COVID break the cake narrative.
Wow.
Callback. Good callback.
It's all fresh. I wish it wasn't, but it's all fresh. I do recommend always standing up for the freedom to vote because it's the whole thing that makes democracy work. And without it, everything we're doing in the legislature is bullshit. So I'm really proud that we went. It was very hard to take my 3-year-old with me, but it was cool to show her DC. And we actually just last night were reading a book that we got while we were in DC called Cheer Up, Ben Franklin, where it's a really cute book. Ben Franklin's sad that none of his friends will hang out with him and fly a kite, and they're busy like revolutioning. And then they all get together at Independence Hall and sign the Declaration of Independence, and he's happy. But anyway, my daughter now calls me George Washington Mama. She's Betsy Ross Lark. My husband is Paul Revere Daddy, and the dogs are Thomas Jefferson, Sonny, and Abigail Adams, Buffy. Respectively. So anyway, my point is, it clearly triggered something in my daughter where she's still very excited.
So in 14 years, we will be able to shift the Texas legislature because children like her have finally learned. We just have 14 more years of this shit.
Exactly. And in like 30 or so years ago, one of those kids will be president.
Beautiful. So was this your third session? Is that right?
Second
session. So
it just feels like the third because we had so many extra ones.
So many. Have you noticed? So people were both, they either loved you for leaving or they hated you for leaving. You came back. What was that like dealing with your colleagues, those on the other side of the aisle and those who did not participate in the break as you tried to make new policy? And you already talked about that 25,000 people could not vote by mail. They were rejected this year. I don't know what the question was in there.
No, I don't even. I mean, to be frank, it was really tough. I mean, emotions were really high. My emotions were high. Other folks in my party who stayed, emotions were high. Republicans' emotions were high. Everyone was pretty sick of each other. But we have to go in there and we have to fight the fights where we need to fight, including on the voting rights bill, as well as the slew of other horrendous bills we came back to. We talk about voting rights, but we also showed back up to this like hemorrhage money at the border for Governor Abbott's future presidential campaign stuff. And we came back to bad abortion bills. And we came, God, what else did we come back to? There was a lot. We killed
transgender student, the athlete.
Bill. Yeah, we came back to bills attacking trans folks. We did kill the bill that would have ended paid water breaks in places like Austin, so we stopped one. But it was really tough. But you have to like be there ready to fight. But then you also have to be ready to work with folks when your interests do align. And so I tell people I think the most useful skill in the legislature is compartmentalization, because you have to be like, yesterday we were fighting, and by yesterday usually I actually mean 5 minutes ago. But now on this bill we're on the same side, and I need to get over myself and my feelings and focus on this. So you have to sort of have selective amnesia, short-term selective amnesia, so you can move forward. But I dealt with it with a lot of humor. I kind of showed up, and when I like said hi to my Republican colleagues on the floor, some of whom would kind of like avoid my eyes to be like, "Hi, it's so good to see you. I had the chance to miss you." And they'd laugh a little, and you sort of try and move on. I mean, it's really weird to have this space where you have to have a decent relationship with people you would never be friends with in a million years and who you disagree with on almost everything. But it's a really important part of being able to be effective in the building, especially if you're a member of the minority party.
I feel that way in the improv community all the time. What's the most important policy to you right now, and how did it go last session for you?
Oh my God. I hate questions like this, Stephanie, because they're all important.
But what is your 7th favorite policy today at this moment?
Okay, so the exact problem with Democrats is I would like to give you an itemized list of 20 policies and citations on why I'm right about them. But I'll try to behave and be
You are so self-aware. You are so self-aware.
But no, I'll mention a thing that like I work on more than almost anybody else that's really important to me, which is investing in our infrastructure to make, especially our energy infrastructure, more reliable. I'm going to tell a really bad joke, and y'all better laugh to like make me feel okay about it. And y'all are about the right age to mostly get it, I think. But I was telling people, I cared about the grid before it was cool, or ice
Nice.
cold.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boom.
But
before it was cool.
So I carried legislation that would have invested a bunch of our American Rescue Plan dollars, about $1 billion of them, into making our grid more reliable, making our water utilities more reliable, providing backup generation for hospitals and dialysis centers and nursing homes and assisted living centers. And that's what I was most passionate about, like trying to get something into effect so that we keep things like that from happening again. And then on top of that, most of those investments, particularly on the water and utility side, make our systems greener long term. It like reduces the amount of water we lose in old pipes, or it brings more green energy onto the grid, or makes our buildings more energy efficient so that we use less energy overall. And so that was a bill I carried. It was my number one personal project during session, that sort of we were actually working on a version of it before the blackout, and then the blackout happened and we went, oh, hey, maybe we could actually pass this now. And shifted it to include the backup generation for hospitals and whatnot. And we got that bill through the State Affairs Committee, which was a big lift. We got it passed on the floor of the Texas House with a large majority of legislators. I had over half of the legislators in the House as co-authors. And then it went over to the Senate, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick never referred it to committee. And then the bill SB3, that was the big grid reform bill, came through, tacked it onto that as an amendment, again with the support of the vast majority of my colleagues in the House, and it got stripped out in conference by the Lieutenant Governor. And that's a really common story you'll hear from House members, is like, we had this great policy we passed through the House, and then it died in the Senate. So one joke we tell in the legislature is the Republicans aren't the enemy, the Senate is. And the Republicans will say the Democrats aren't the enemy, the Senate is. We can all be unified in the fact that we are the better chamber of the legislature.
How many members are in that chamber, Aaron?
There are 31.
I'm sorry.
31 of them are in it.
Other Aaron.
Other Aaron.
Yeah.
I would call you Representative and Aaron. Let's call him Aaron right now.
And 150 in the other one.
Are you looking at your phone?
He was voting for Over the Ledge. On the
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. You can vote here. Vote for Over the Ledge. So, Representative, you and I know these things. Really, Aaron, Jeremy, and Amy know a lot of these things because they are on the show and they pay attention in real life. What do you wish the regular person really knew about the legislature and what they could do? Because as you could see, I think people think we did something to the grid. We did not. I think people don't realize that the governor pretty much, vetoed every other branch of government. What can we do to get people? What do you wish the regular person was paying attention to?
I wish the regular people knew that the reason your property taxes are high is the fault of Republicans in the Texas legislature. And they've created a system where your local county tax appraiser has utterly no choice but to keep raising your valuations, and your school board and your county and your city basically have no choice but to, at the bare minimum, keep tax rates flat, because the legislature isn't funding local services or schools, and is instead basically compelling local property taxes to go up. That is the number one thing I wish people knew. And I also want you to know that any proposals you hear, I shouldn't say any. There was one good one we did in the third special that was actually the same as a bill of mine, but they wouldn't pass it with my name on it because I'm a Democrat. But most of the quote unquote property tax solutions, the majority of the benefit will go to corporate property owners like Walmart and Costco and whatnot. So if you are mad about your property taxes, I need you to yell at the governor and the lieutenant governor and whoever your legislators are.
Can we fit that on a postcard? Because my kids can send those to people instead of those.
I don't know. Make like a little graph over how much people's went up and just put it over a picture of Greg Abbott.
I don't know why Beto's not leaning into that, man, because I think that alone could really sway the needle in his favor even more so.
But like that's a pattern that drives me nuts. Like people are also mad about college tuition. Also the legislature's fault because we stopped funding higher education well. So it goes up. So the legislature's been like pretty clever about passing the buck to be like, oh, that's who you should be mad about that. And it's almost always actually us.
Yeah,
sometimes it's the feds. It's usually us.
And you were so self-aware earlier about Democrats, how we want our charts and our maps and our logic, but Republicans have a great way. They know how to message. I wish that Democrats used fear and lies more. That's what I want. I'm just going to say it. You got to lie. You got to lie.
I cannot support that statement. Sorry, Stephanie.
Thank you. That was a test. What are you worried about?
I do wish we would tell the truth more briefly.
I wish you'd have said that earlier.
Yeah. That's a great campaign slogan. I tell the truth more briefly. Democrat for. What are you most worried about for next session? It's happening. It's coming soon.
More bad.
Stephanie, I haven't recovered from last year yet.
Okay. All right.
But no, what I am most worried about is that these attacks on trans youth and their families will get put into law. And for folks who don't know, there were bills filed last session to basically make it a crime to provide gender affirming medical care to transgender youth, which is life-saving. It is not something done casually. It's something that's done very seriously under care of usually multiple medical providers. Republicans tried to make it child abuse. And then when the bill did not pass the legislature, the Attorney General issued a legal opinion saying it was already child abuse. And then the governor directed Department of Family and Protective Services to basically make those cases their number one priority and pursue those families. Wow. And this is an agency that's already understaffed, and it's also like directly against the social worker code of ethics to do this type of thing. So we've already had like 6 resignations from Department of Family and Protective Services, and we have families of these children just absolutely terrified that they're going to be investigated for doing the best thing they know how to do to take care of their children. And I think my number one thing I do not want to happen next session is for that bill, or it's for that to go into legislation.
Gosh, I don't know. Okay, so
sorry, that's dark and not funny at all.
No, but I want to go darker. You initially said that you identify as queer. Can you explain what that means for people who might not know? Because I won't say who, but someone listened and they were like, "You can't say queer anymore." I was like, "No, they've taken it back." So can you help us understand what LGBTQI? What does it all mean?
Yeah,
in 30 seconds. I'm joking.
Yeah, so I'm bisexual, which is part of being queer. Queer is used as kind of a catch-all term for people who identify as not being heterosexual. But we don't like to define ourselves by what we are not. We like to define ourselves by what we are. And so we are people who live outside of sort of that heterosexual norm in one way or another. And that could be a lot of trans folks identify as queer, though not all of them. And most people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and are at least like under the age of 50 are fairly comfortable with that label. But some folks who are older
nailed it.
Have negative associations with it and aren't personally comfortable with it. And if you know someone who's not comfortable with it, don't force it on them. It's theirs to decide.
Thank you. Why do you think the governor and lieutenant governor are so scared of the LGBTQI community?
I think it's a challenge to the social order that they would like to maintain. And quite frankly, we saw acceptance around lesbian, gay, and bisexual people transition so fast in the U.S. I mean, just think like in 2008, Obama was too scared to talk about LGBTQ people, full stop. And it took Biden like making what was at the time called a flub, where he said, oh yeah, we actually support it. And then the Obama administration was sort of forced to come along, and then suddenly it became the norm for Democrats to support it. And that was only 10 years ago. Like, I think that's something people don't realize. That was only 10 years ago, and it's only been 9 years since the Supreme Court ruled that same-sex marriage was the law of the land. It hasn't been that. Now I'm even questioning my math, right? If it really was 2013.
No, yeah, yeah. Well, no, actually, it might have been 2014.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, because
grad school in Arizona, but that was 2013 to 2016. But that change happened really, really fast, and I think the speed of that has made them terrified. And so now we're seeing the backlash to the white acceptance of LGBTQ folks. But quite frankly, I don't think anyone in the LGBTQ community is ready to go back in the closet, and I don't think they can make us. And I think they're going to lose this culture fight. And I think it's going to hurt them politically, especially now that they're pursuing things like the Don't Say Gay legislation that Florida just passed to let parents sue their schools for teachers mentioning they have a same-sex partner, or for letting a kid talk about how they have two mothers or two fathers.
What is
it's
wrong
dark
with us?
stuff, and I think we're going to win. But I think Republicans are really mad that they're seen as not cool right now. And if that's a problem for them, then just be cool.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, it's not that hard to be cool with queer people.
yeah, stop being a dick.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it kind of comes down to.
Not the Texas grid cool. But all right. Comedians, do y'all have any questions for the representative?
I have a question. I want to know just a little bit about your election and how hotly contested it was, and not exactly how much money you spent, but we always hear about how much it costs for someone to get into office. And so I'm just curious. You don't have to say the exact number or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah, so I stepped up to run with very little experience and very little sort of political clout, and was able to win a primary through a lot of hard work, a lot of relationship building, and then also was able to win the primary because, quite frankly, no one thought my seat was competitive, so no big money came in for my opponent, who was more acceptable to sort of the status quo folks. And that's because everyone thought the Republican was going to win. And then people still kind of thought the Republican was going to win. And we said, we don't think so. And we kept working, and we were able to get a little bit of outside help. So the number that was, I think, on my finance report at the end of my first race was $110,000. Now that's to reach a district that had about 220,000 people in it at the time, because my district was really overpopulation. And it was also to run a primary, a runoff, and a general. So I ran 3 elections on that. That is considered an incredibly low number. When you go and you talk to the Texas Democratic Party and you're like, what's it take to flip a district? They tell you got to be ready to raise $500,000. So we fought for a lot of that with sweat equity. In 2020, my race, and nobody expected me to win. It was like my phone blew up at 11 o'clock at night. Other Democrats in the Texas House realized they were going to be working with me. And we're like, who is this person?
Awesome.
In 2020, my race was one of the most hotly contested in the state. And we spent about $1.2 million. So we had really different resources when we were defending. And my opponent and her supporters spent around $3 million.
I love to hear that.
So
Democrats
are always outspent. And the thing people need to know is you don't need more money than the other person. You just need enough money to talk to your people to get them out.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Thank you.
Can I ask a follow-up just real quick? Do you support any kind of public financing for elections, so that, say, 80% of that $3 million could have gone to something that actually we can use? Yeah.
Other than TV telling people I murder babies.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I haven't thought as deeply about public financing of elections and what those structures look like, because it's so far from where we are in Texas and not the place to start. What I filed a bill for during the second special session, because we were talking about election integrity, was a bill to have campaign contribution limits, because in Texas, there is no limit. You, Jeremy, could hand me $1 million right now, and I could legally take it.
Do it.
And I consider myself to have exceptional personal ethics, but it is pretty hard to not feel like I have to answer your phone call after you've given me $1 million.
Absolutely.
And this number isn't academic. Our governor was given $1 million by Kelsey Warren, the CEO of Energy Transfer Partners, right after we passed legislation that gave natural gas a complete pass on winterizing to try and avoid future grid blackouts. So people are giving this level of donations. My predecessor received $250,000 from one individual for his campaigns for my seat. So if we want to have election integrity, we need to know our elections aren't for sale to the highest bidder. And And so that's where some of my more focus has been at this point on campaign
Cool.
finance. It's just trying to get limits because we have none in Texas. None at all.
Wow. I like that. Well, to get election integrity, we have to start with like personal integrity. So, I don't know. Hey, Aaron?
Yeah, if I could, just real quick, not really a question, just more of a statement and a thanks. I identify as a cisgender heterosexual male. So I think for a lot of folks in that niche, it's kind of easy to just ignore a lot of the problems that do face the trans community. However, I do have a friend who actually works at a gender reaffirming clinic, and she was actually recorded by some rep, and they were using her as like evidence, like look what they're doing to the community and blah blah blah, and look what they're doing to their children, and it's hurtful. And she is a trans woman herself, and it's really terrible to just try and just want to feel good in your body, but the state you live in seems like doesn't care or doesn't want you to. So it really sucks, and it kind of feels like you kind of like all hope is lost. But to know that there are folks like you in that big pink building, doing the good fight, it really does feel good to know that people do give a damn, and that people are trying to fight the good fight and just allow people to live their lives. And that's just trying to find their truth and be who they are. And it sucks that it's a political issue, and it sucks that they're trying to lock people up for loving their kids. So it's really, really nice that they give a damn. So thank you.
Yeah,
I'll just mention for anybody watching, like, if that's an issue you're concerned about and want to help with, which it is all hands on deck. I mean, I cannot tell you how terrified the trans community and the parents of trans kids are right now. Go follow Equality Texas. Go follow Transgender Education Network of Texas. Go follow ACLU Texas. Go follow Lambda Legal. All of those groups are doing so much work right now to try and protect people on the ground, both through lawsuits. Like right now, that awful DFPS order is under an injunction. We're hoping it will stay that way, but none of us trust the Texas Supreme Court. So people need your help and your time and your energy to show up. And the trans community has had to show up at the legislature consistently since 2017 to defend their identity and their right to be humans and exist as who they are, and they need backup. So if you have ability to be there as an ally, please get plugged in.
Thank you. And this is also from the Haggadah. It says, "No one is free until everyone is free." So,
Amen.
All right,
I'm not sure if that's
Amy.
the proper after that.
I think you can say that.
Yeah.
All right, Amy, take us home.
Thank you so much to our special guest, Representative Aaron Zwiener, comedians Aaron Salinas and Jeremy Sweetland. Aaron, where can people find you next?
I have a showcase. Well, this is going to be too late, but I'm going to be on Testify's May show. So yeah, if you want to come hear me talk about my brain stuff, come out May 13th, I believe. Testify Austin.
Wonderful.
And Jeremy, where can people find you next?
I have nothing on the books at the moment. Just trying to keep my head down. And well, I am directing a middle school play, 12th Night, that's coming
cool.
up. We're doing it's grunge rock. Is the they picked that as the theme or whatever. So all the costumes are basically straight out of my closet from when I was a big Pearl Jam fan. That's at the beginning of May at my school. You can find my email or my socials or whatever if you really want to come to that.
All right.
I'm going to sneak some alcohol in.
For who?
For the middle school. Thank you to our Over the Ledge benevolent Empress, Stephanie Chiarello. Thank you to our sound engineer, Tom Booker. And remember, Tom Booker loves you.
Thank you to Amy Lowry for guiding us through this episode. Don't forget, she's glad you're here. And I don't know if we ever thanked our sponsors this time around, but thank you. We can't do it without you.
Y'all the real ones.
Yeah. And that's our show. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok as at Over the Ledge.
Yay, vote for us.
Woohoo, Patreon.
Oh, which one? I'm ending in 3, 2, 1.